The I Am Movement presents When Wisdom Speaks, featuring none other than Miss Cinquetta Williams, wife, mother, and community activist. Let's get into it.
I am Cinquetta, and these are my words of wisdom on being enslaved and finding freedom.
What is it to be enslaved?
To be enslaved is a frame of mind. To be enslaved is to be captured by a thing or a person. To be enslaved is to be controlled by something or someone.
What can you be enslaved to?
You can be enslaved to many things. You can be enslaved to your mind. You can be enslaved to yourself. You can be enslaved to other people and things. Oftentimes, we become enslaved to our daily life and we don't even realize that because we get so consumed by the daily activities of living, to whether it be taking care of your kids or, your family, work, school, and we forget to live.
What do you mean when you say be enslaved to yourself?
To be enslaved to yourself it looks sort of like what depression would sometimes what could possibly look like. Wanting to do better, and in your mind you feel like you can't. Wanting to do something and you feel like you can't achieve that. Not allowing yourself to be the authentic you, to be who you are, who you was created to be. And sometimes we enslave ourselves because we are unsure of who we are.
How would you work towards being sure of who you are? What are like 3 things you could say that would help someone who feels like they are enslaved to self? They really want to do something, but they don't know how to do it. They really want to achieve something, but they don't know where to start. What 3 things would you say to that person to get them started in the right direction?
First and foremost is that you can, regardless of what you think. And I can use myself as an example because I'm going through this right now. Regardless of what you think you can't do, you can do anything you put your mind to. The Bible talks about being transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that means I don't know how I'm going to get this done. I have this dream that I want to achieve. I have something that's burning on the inside of me that I want to get out. But I don't necessarily know how to do that. So first you have to, and that's hard when you think about it, because now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, okay, it's like you can tell yourself, oh, you can do this, you can do this. And then the other part of you saying, I don't know if you can do this. But even if you are unsure, you can do it. So the first thing is you can do whatever you put your mind to, regardless of the doubt that you have. You have to believe.
Believe, that's a good one.
So the Bible talks about help thine unbelief. So a part of you believe that you can, know that you can, because it's in you already. And it's something that you want to do because it's in you. If you were created to do that, so you can do it. Now the hard part is actually believing that you can. So even if you don't believe that you can, a step towards that is every day getting up, working towards what it is that you're trying to work towards. So let's say, I want to go back to school. What do? Every day you make a list. Okay, so today I'm going to get up and I'm going to apply for school. Tomorrow I'm going to do my financial aid. The next day I'm going to go down and take the pre-test or fill out the paperwork or whatever I need to do. You take small steps to eventually get there. And then by the time you look, you'll be right on through it, baby. Be right on through it.
How important is it to first recognize enslavement, and how important is it to break repetitive cycles and generational curses?
It is very important to recognize enslavement first, because in order to be able to not repeat these cycles. Because if you don't recognize it, then you're going to repeat it. It's just plain as simple as that. If you don't know better, you don't do better. But when you know better, you do better. So it's very important to first recognize if you are enslaved, and you can do that by daily self-check.
What's the daily self-check?
Am I spending too much time on social media? Am I spending too much time watching TV? Have I given any time to just me, quiet down? Have I, those type of things.
What are your self-checks?
Oh, I self-check me all the time, baby, because for one, here's the thing. I don't mind constructive criticism. I think that is good. I think that is healthy. We all should be able to receive that. And here we'll have somebody else to say, take it, apply it, use it, whatever. But me, I have to check me first, because my motto that I live by is to keep it real with Cinquetta first. Because if I can't be real with me, I can't be real with you. So I do daily self-checks by making sure, like, if I try to make sure that I'm not the toxic one in any relationship that I'm in. And oftentimes we are, and we don't realize that. So, I always check myself by saying, did I say that the right way? Or could I say that a different way? Or, even as a parent, you got to self-check, because oftentimes we think that we know it all as parents. We think that we have all the answers, and we don't have all the answers. Sometimes our kids may have the answer.
Have you witnessed cycles of struggle and enslavement in your own family? And if so, how did you overcome it?
Absolutely struggle. We struggle on a daily basis. I myself have been enslaved, and I was enslaved to a relationship that I was once in. And this is a very good example of being enslaved to a person or thing, or a situation. And I was enslaved to a situation that I thought I needed a person because of what they could do for me that I wasn't able to do for myself at the time, or I didn't feel confident enough to do for myself at the time. So, I guess I've witnessed some enslavement and a little bit of struggle. We've all had a little bit of struggle.
If you had to define freedom in your own words, what would you define freedom as?
Just to be free, right? Just to be free. But what does that mean? To be you, to be yourself, to be true to you, no matter what that looks like. The good, the bad, the ugly, the in-between. Being honest with yourself. That's what freedoms look like to me. If you can be honest with who you are right here, up in here, and I mean, I'm talking about all of you. And even the part of you that you can't quite accept. That's freedom. Because if you can accept where you are in life, even if it's at the lowest of the low, and you are content meaning not necessarily satisfied with that situation, if you're at the lowest, but you content with, I have everything that I need, I don't, the bare necessities, that's freedom. We become in bondage. We think that freedom looks like having all this money, being able to do what we want to do, materialistic, or purchase things. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're free. That could be you're free to do whatever you are able to do because you can financially support those habits or whatever the case may be. But are you happy? Is there joy on the inside? Can you rest at night? Is there peace? Do you have a peace of mind? That's what real freedom looks like to me. You give it away when you become not original. You give it away when you are not who you were destined to be. Okay.
Now that you've defined freedom, how do you maintain and retain your freedom?
How do you keep it? How do you hold on to it? How do you ground it? For me, that I would have to say, to be true to you. How do you keep your freedom? Is being true to yourself. not wavering, standing firm in what you believe in, standing firm in your values. So don't give your freedom away. Stand firm and be true to yourself.
A special thank you to Miss Cinquetta Williams for her powerful and impactful words of wisdom on the topic of being enslaved and finding freedom. Be sure to check us out on Fridays at noon for words of wisdom on When Wisdom Speaks. The I Am Movement is on the move. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and on Facebook for the latest posts, videos, and updates. On Instagram at @the_I_am_movement_SNW. On Facebook at the I Am Movement SNW. Be sure to follow, subscribe, like, and even hit the love button. Comment. Start the conversation.